he came out to our house. We were gone for a couple of weeks, and I paid he and another person to help mow our lawn. He fixed my lawnmower. I mean, like, who does that? Like, he does it. You know, he's sort of like a Renaissance man, I guess, kind of like his own personal Portland.
I really like cars, motorcycles, anything like that, because I feel like it's really an extension of my personality, and I feel like any car person will tell you the same thing. We're able to build something ourselves, put our own personal touch on things, do things that we want to do with these cars because we see ourselves in them. I have a vision when I see a car. I can see what that car can be. How can I make this reflect who I am? And when I go into town, when I go places and my friends or people who know me see that car, they go, oh, that's not Morgan's car, that's Morgan, you know? So I feel like the same way that people get tattoos to personalize themselves and to say things without speaking about themselves, that's how I feel about cars and motorcycles and my projects like that. My dad raced jet skis when I was really young. He did it pretty much since I was a baby. So I was always around the noise and the motors of it, even, you know, if I didn't think it was anything special. He got me into motocross directly when I was 4. So I got my first motorcycle when I was 4. I started racing around the same time. About a year later, I was going around the state almost every weekend, racing different places with that. You're wearing a lot of gear and it's really hot, so there's a lot of endurance involved in that. That's actually how I got into running. It wasn't uncommon to have running races around motocross tracks. You know, the tracks were about 1 mile to 2 miles long in Michigan, and there are a lot of hills, so they're pretty tough. They make for some pretty fun courses. It's also a lot of very deep sand. It's difficult to ride through, so they do it on purpose as an obstacle, which it's also difficult to run through. So it was always interesting to have these people running at motocross tracks, and eventually I got into that. It was fun, so I didn't know what I was doing. I was just running. I ran barefoot for 1.5 miles on this track, and then I had this 14, 15-year-old kid telling his dad that he couldn't drop me. And we were like 1 mile in, and his dad's like, "What are you doing?" He was getting super frustrated. And he turns around and looks at me and goes, "This kid's a machine." So it was really fun to have that. Really early on, that motivated me to keep going, I guess. I figured, you know, I might be pretty good at this running thing. So I joined the cross country team when I got into middle school, and yeah, the rest is history. My freshman year, I was like 130th in the state. In Division II, sophomore year, I was like 13th, 14th. And then my junior year, I won. And then my senior year, I won. And then I was also, I think I put down the fastest time of all divisions in the state. So that shift really happened my junior year. That was when I really started looking at this as, there's a future here. Maybe I can get into college through this. I can win some things. I can do some stuff. So that was really when I started taking it seriously.
Watching him race in high school, just his patience throughout a cross-country race or a track race. At the state meet on the track, he ran 1,600 meters and he wasn't feeling great, but he closed in 56 seconds. And that's the sort of thing that, it might have been 57 low, but that's the sort of thing that the elite athletes have to be able to do. And I thought, well, if he can kick, he's going to be able to have a chance at Big Ten championships.
I was on a visit with, I think, 1 or 2 other guys. When I got here, the team was coming back from a meet the night I showed up, and they're like, "Who are these guys?" It really showed me that I had to earn my space. You know, instead of going out to dinner, we had a bonfire and we just sat around and talked. Why do you belong here? It was like an interview process for me. They forced me to try and get in, and that was something that I really wanted to. I really had to prove myself when I got here.
And, you know, I think that sort of gave him a good sense that this is a grounded group of people, and really understanding that this is how we're going to celebrate, and this is where our priorities are, because they know that you come back on a Saturday night, and honestly, they get up on Sunday morning and they go run anywhere from 12 to 18 miles.
I never liked things being handed to me. So I think that just fit in with my mindset of, okay, you're going to have to earn your way, and it's definitely going to be worth it because these guys are tough and you're going to have to be tougher.
I think it's important that we have that kind of culture. I think that our student athletes have high expectations, and I think that culturally they know what's going to work and what's not.
Find your breathing pattern, find a teammate, solve a problem. Just keep going back to your race plan.
I like the idea of designing things. I like the idea of creating new things, innovating, and making things better, making things more efficient, making things safer. And I mean, in my case, I'm not gonna lie, I just want to make things faster. So that's a big part of why I want to go into engineering, is my background in racing and motocross and that whole bit of my life. Everything I do is problem solving. So working on cars, you have a problem, you have to find a solution, and then you have to know how to navigate that solution and apply that solution. Engineering, you have a problem. Well, you know what the problem is. What do you want your solution to be? In running, you're going to have problems. What do you want your solution to be? How do you come to these solutions? How do you work towards these solutions? It's not just, oh, I know what the solution needs to be. How do I get there? So I think it's all looked at from the same perspective on my end.
I think it's an important part of what we do as coaches is that we help people look at the world and help them sort things out. I'm certainly not telling people how to think, but certainly I'm going to ask a lot of questions and try to get them to think about what's coming next or how. I think our job is to help people kind of navigate life and grow into adulthood.
Since I've been here, I've learned a lot from my coaches, and that shaped me into a better leader, and it's also helped that I have other people that I can turn to. Just having that ability to communicate more efficiently and communicate more specifically has grown, and that's also helped me with maturing as a runner and maturing as a person in athletics and in academics.